Hello and welcome to the WildWestGamer with me, the WildWestGamer, here in what appears not to be the gaming grotto. No, I have moved into the kitchen area, the kitchen grotto. Basically, as I said in a couple of videos ago, we're moving. We're currently in the process of, getting stuff packed away, getting stuff boxed up so we can move it to the new house. And yeah, basically, the gaming grotto at this moment is no longer accessible. I'm sure, though, it will be over the next couple of days, but until then, this is what I'll have to be doing. But, at least it keeps me sort of interested. I can't really sort of lay back and take it easy when I'm standing up, right? The Greek Geek Weekend, which I sort of made out to be some sort of major event which was going to be taking place for the channel, the first major event. Wasn't really. Like I said, it was rather a spur of the moment thing. I, inadvertently realised I was watching a lot of these sorts of films, so I just thought, hey, why not review them? This is the fourth one. Now, there are only two on the website so far, Clash and Wrath of the Titans. I gave you my opinion of those, and I actually have had some really good feedback from that. A lot of people agreeing with my point about there are no Titans in those films. There is a Titan. One Titan. That is it. No, you can't call a film Titans if there are not Titans in it. It's Lord of the Ring. Actually, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but that still works because he's the Lord of the Rings. It's not like, Lord of the Sticks. Because that would be a complete lie. That's what those films are. They're lies. They're lies. Just filthy whole lies. So yeah. I thought they were crap. I thought they were awful. I've done a 300 review. Now that is still sat on my laptop. It has not been uploaded yet. It is going to be basically. I've had this whole palaver with the my internet provider. We've gone over our usage numerous times. Despite the fact we really don't do a lot. Apart from uploading 22 videos in the space of about 2 weeks. But we've now got infinite upload and download capacity, so that means really good news for the channel. I can bring you guys as much as I want, as much as I can do, and that's really great. It means that I don't have to worry about perhaps picking certain things that I want to do. Also, good news, I have got Silent Hill, which I'm really excited about. It's not mine, it has been lent to me yet again by Mr. Sidious. Mr. Sidious, who may or may not be watching, you know who you are, thank you very much. You lent me the Resident Evil 2, which I reviewed. I then went and got my own copy, and I had to return that, but in exchange, like I said, Silent Hill 1, which I'm very much enjoying, scared the shit out of me within about 5 minutes of playing it, and it's also just coming across as a game that's really personal as well to me. It really speaks to me as a father, so I'm hoping, by the end of it, I'm really going to have a really good review to give you guys. Also, I got Tomorrow Never Dies for the PlayStation 1, again. The games I'm trying to pick up are sort of the games I remember playing and really loving. And I've got to be honest, it's not GoldenEye for the N64, but it's still really enjoyable. So I'm going to bring you a review of that at some point, and a whole host of other games I want to get done. But yeah, without any further ado, the fourth part to the Greek Geek Weekend, which is now on Tuesday, which is really bizarre. This was not very well at all, but like I said, I set out to give you guys an honest, sort of a mini event for the channel, the first sort of one. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to break that promise. I really want to do it. And 4 seems like a good number to end at. That, and also the only other one I could think of was Gladiator, which everyone's done a Gladiator review, haven't they? And I'm sure I'll do one at some point, but I'm not going to do it yet because the review I did was Immortals, starring Henry Cavill and Mickey Rourke. A film which is just fucking awesome. It is incredible. It is probably one of the best films I've ever seen. No word of a lie, honestly. It is so good. The style is what jumps out immediately. It is really what grabs you. The second you turn on the film, you're, whoa, this is not like anything I've watched in a while. It feels like a much more realistic interpretation of 300 is the best way I can describe it. A lot of CGI backdrops and landscapes, but done to such a high quality that it really gives this. Well, because you're dealing with the stuff of myths and legends, this really helps sort of set that in this sort of believable world, yet still fantastical, which is what it's supposed to be, essentially. And this, of course, is even more emphasized when you go to Olympus, or anything that happens with the gods takes place. Anything to do with the supernatural or otherworldly. Again, this sort of style that it's got, this it's really brilliant sort of aesthetic, just makes it even better. Really does. And I'll get onto that in a minute. But Immortals. Well, the story of Theseus and his story of revenge against King Agamemnon? Hephaestus? Agamemnon? No, not Hephaestus. That's one of the gods. Agamemnon. Against the king. Okay? King, his name I don't know. Yeah, it's fantastic. At its most simplistic, it's a revenge tale. But with all these things, there are lots of characters who come in on the sides and represent new challenges and new themes the character has to battle with. There's also, of course, the story of the gods, and the way that these omnipotent, all-powerful beings are limited by their rules they've set down themselves. Basically it's about free will and about men versus gods, and the sins of our fathers, and etc, etc, etc. Again, it's about immortality, but not immortality in the most conventional sense of the word. And that's what's great. This film is layered, so many layers, so deep, so many both face value metaphors, as well as really sort of deep spiritualistic stuff you've really got to take away and contemplate and think about. The first thing is, of course, Henry Cavill as Theseus. Well, he's fantastic. I mean, Henry Cavill is a guy who's got a massive career. I say a massive career. He is going to have a massive career. He's been cast as Superman for a start. And if that film is half as good as it looks like it's going to be, he's going to be getting a lot of calls from Hollywood. Seriously, he was really good. He was good in The Tudors, and he's really good in this. And he's, like I say, he looks fantastic in Man of Steel. And he's really good. Theseus is everything. He's a guy. He's a like I say, everything about him is multi-layered. He is a multi-layered character. He's so three-dimensional. He is a guy who's very angry. He's seen. Well, he has been wronged in one of the worst kinds of ways. And he wants revenge. He wants what any normal person wants. He wants to get his own back. But he's not some hot-headed, sort of action hero. He's not just, I'm going to do this and be down with everyone else. No, he's very aware that he needs to become more than just, sort of this man on this, one-sided mission. He may need to step up and represent, freedom, and, the will to say no to oppression. And he starts taking on these roles which are bigger than just himself. And he starts leading men, as opposed to just being one man walking down a road by himself. He can kill if he needs to, but he doesn't. That's not his final answer. He'll talk things through. He's a reasonable man. He's a lover and a fighter, a killer and a friend. He's everything, and you understand him completely. You understand why he is the way he is, and you respect him for it. Normally in films, in any sort of film where there's killing, I always ask myself, well, how does this guy sleep at night? Does John McClane just jump into bed and go, well, awesome, I threw that guy off a building, awesome, sweet, let's hit the hay. Does James Bond just go to bed, lie down and go, well, you know what, killed like 300 guys, but I got to, knock off a really hot girl. Fair enough, right? I can't buy that. I can't relate to that. Yeah, those films are good, but I can't relate to that. Theseus is relatable. He never directly speaks about it. The reasons why he has to kill are very understandable. It's either he's put in the situation where there's no option, or he has to because there is, people's lives are at stake. He's fighting to protect. So it's never meaningless killing. It's always very, very important. Very thought about and very well implemented as far as the story goes. It always feels necessary to the story, not just as a way to, kill a couple seconds of screen time. Of course, though, a hero is only as good as his villains, as they say. And Mickey Rourke is just fantastic in this film. You again, like Theseus, you empathise with this character to start with. You understand why he's angry. His daughter and his wife died, and in front of him, and he begged the gods for the strength to help them, and the gods couldn't answer because they're not allowed to interfere in the affairs of mortals, which again, makes you go, well, the gods aren't just being crass and careless; they genuinely can't intervene. But Mickey Rourke takes this as a sign they don't care, and he, proclaims war on the gods. Now you go, well, I mean, if you beg the deities that you believe in wholeheartedly, you believe are the ones that watch over you and give you reason for living in life, they fail to act to save your loved ones. You'd be angry. You'd be really angry. You'd probably go, well, that's it. Shit's going down now. And that's why I watch this film and I go, yeah, I understand why you're angry. I don't agree with your methods, but I understand. And again, that's really nice because then when you see these two characters come face to face and clash, it's all the more, there's all the more tension to it. There's all the more hype. And it feels like there's a lot more to win and a lot more to lose and all to play for, so to say. And it is whenever these characters meet, if they talk, it's always very like, it's each sentence is, very heated and very, you feel that there's tension in the end, it's palpable. These two guys really are sparring with each other in every single way possible. And then when, of course, they physically clash, well, again, just phenomenal. The fight scenes are fantastic, and their fight scenes are cool. But the fight scenes with the gods are even better. Now, this film is like some sort of pre-Jesus Christ version of the Matrix, right? Now that sounds awesome altogether, to start with, right? It really is. Like I was talking about the style of it and the character development. The action is phenomenal. Now that's because of in part of the gods. Now the gods, like I was saying, the aesthetic of this film, if it hadn't been done right, would come across as some sort of cheesy 90s pop video. Seriously. Some of the costumes in this film are just ridiculous. They are laugh out loud, just like, what, really? But you don't. You believe it because why? These are gods. They are, these eternal, all-powerful, omnipotent beings. Their thought processes and their design is completely above what they're immortals. They are they're gods. What they wouldn't think like we would. They wouldn't be bound by the same rigid constructs we are. So when they choose to wear these long golden flowing cloaks and these headpieces made out of spikes and these big old curly sort of windy hats which look a bit like ornaments you'd hang like from a plant pot, you kind of go, okay, yeah, fair enough, because with them comes this sense of awe and power, and this is really capitalized upon by Luke Evans, who again is fantastic. Luke Evans has appeared in a couple of things that I've watched, and he is a very, very good actor. Seriously good. I mean, what I like about these films is you really are seeing the next generation of actors coming into their prime. And Luke Evans, again, like I said, as Zeus, he is the king of the gods. He is the god. He is the all. He's the Greek all-father. He really is. He is. Created the universe, man, everything. He rules the heavens, and he is both the destroyer and the creator. And with Luke Evans' performance, you really feel that. You really understand what it means to be the king of the gods. Not only do you have to look over the humans and watch their affairs from far, but he's a god bound by this law that he upholds himself, which is they cannot interfere in the affairs of mortals as gods. He can take the form of a mortal man, and he can he can offer advice and stuff like that. And I'm not going to spoil that anymore for you, like as to how that happens, but it does. He can do that, but he can never appear as himself as Zeus to say, "I command you to do this." He cannot do that. And he says to the other gods, "If you do this, if you go down onto Earth," because of course they're aware that Mickey Rourke's character wants to start a war and release the Titans and restart, the war between the gods and the Titans. They're aware that's going to happen, but they cannot go down and kick the shit out of Mickey Rourke. They are not allowed to do that. They can't. Their law forbids it. And Luke Evans, Zeus says, "If you do this, I will kill you. I will destroy you. I will take you apart. You are not allowed to interfere." And so he's a guy essentially saying, if they release our doom and they release what can destroy us, and we are ended by this, so be it. But it will be because of man's free will, not because it will be. It's man's free will. It's their choice, and if we lose, it's because we lost the war. But the war is not started by man's choices. It's that we cannot try and stop it from happening by taking out man. So yeah, it's fantastic. You're willing this guy to go just down there and kick the crap out of humans, kick out the crap out of the bad guys, but he doesn't. It's weird. He says, "I have faith in Theseus." Theseus. In the same way Theseus has faith in the gods. And it's great. Again, it's like I said, men and gods, mortals and immortals. They both need each other. And that's what's great. So when you going back to the whole style of the gods, when they come down to Earth, you do feel, because it's so different, with the gods and Olympus and down on Earth, you do feel like these all otherworldly beings are coming down. And some great use of slow motion makes when they come down to Earth awesome. Now the fight scenes, like I was about get into, are amazing, absolutely ridiculous, completely preposterous, completely OTT, literally the most ridiculous stuff you're seeing on screen ever, but it is fantastically cool. It is so awesome. And because you go, well, again, they're gods, they don't fight like mortals do. They're not limited by speed and strength, and they're not limited by conventional fighting styles. They've had eternity to master respective art forms in combat. They fight really, really, just amazingly. And yeah, the fight scenes between when they do have to take on well, you've seen it in the trailers, I expect. They do take on the Titans, as you would have to see. That has to happen, and when it does, it is cool. It is just the most badass scene you will ever see. Full on, grisly deaths. We're talking Mortal Kombat / God of War style deaths here. All it needed was some guy shooting, chains out of his hands and going, "Finish him." That's what that was all this film needed to make me go, this is just Mortal Kombat set in ancient Greece. This film does not shy away from the old red stuff. Seriously, there is Clara everywhere in this film. But again, that's what you need, because again, they are fighting for existence, so it has to be horrendous and brutal, otherwise there's no real sort of you're not really seeing the ultimatum, the death, a horrific death awaits every being in existence if the Titans overtake the world. And yeah, like I said, acting is fantastic. You care for all of the characters. Everyone's really no one's really a caricature. Everyone's really everyone's really deep. Everyone's got a really good deep character storyline. Some horrifically brutal scenes, which tend to make the most memorable ones, but again, they're really, really cool. Some really nice payoffs. When you invest in a film, it's either going to go one way, it's either going to disappoint you, or you're going to be really pleased with it. I was really pleased with this. Every time something happened, whether it was in favor of the good guys or the bad guys, I was like, "Whoa, Jesus Christ!" It was really, really cool. Nice plot twists. Nice ending, really good ending. And yeah, just all around a really, really good film. It's, like I said, it's very deep. and the art style perhaps may put some people off. But for me, I could look past that, and I was glad it wasn't just the boring, generic, dime a dozen interpretation of the Greek myths and legends. This was really, really cool. And it had titans, more than just one. It actually had some in the first place. And again, what I like about this film is, though it uses CGI for the landscape shots and some, other bits and bobs, for the actual titans and for the gods, just people. Just titans are just, guys painted black, grey, and, sort of this chalk effect, like they're made from the earth. Gods, pristine, clean humans, with some nice fancy headwear. That's all it is. That is the only distinguishing features between them. No CGI, apart from, death scenes and stuff like that. That's it. And that's cool. I'm happy with that. That's fine. I didn't need, Kronos, from Wrath of the Titans, this, 1,000-meter high, lava beast. Hang on, I'm going to mention that actually in a second. I didn't need that to be sold that he was a Titan. What I needed was, the immensity and epicness of the story to convey that. I believe these are Titans from the fact that, they really do bring the pain in those, the scenes they're in. And the gods, I believe they're the gods because of the, the character development and the way they are with one another and with the Immortals. Again, a really cool bit is the gods, when they are with mortals, because they're the laws they've set down, Luke Evans is this is probably just Luke Evans as well, but when he's Zeus, in his eyes, you see his sadness that he can't help the humans, but in his voice and his movement, you see the anger he has for them. The fact his own love for them, causes his, his stoic sort of, we cannot interfere, not interfere, mode fall apart. He does not want to interact with them and take away the gift he gave them of free will, but at the same time he wishes more than anything to help them, and that is so well conveyed that and everything else, that you just go, God, this film is really, really, pulling on everything it can to make me, really want this film to have such a payoff at the end. And it does. It has a really good payoff. And so, yeah, I would say don't read up on this film if you haven't already. Don't ask other people's opinions. Just go and watch it and make up your own opinion. I know that's ironic coming from me, who's just doing a review of this, but seriously, just go and watch it and see what you think. And if you like it, leave a comment. If you don't, leave a comment. If you want to know how to get jelly that's stuck in your hair out, leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. I think mayonnaise works. But yeah, Immortals, very good, very enjoyed it, very fantastic, very much recommend it. But going back, I forgot to mention this in Wrath of the Titans. When you saw Cronus, what did you think? And this is to the gamers out there, the PlayStation 3 gamers. What did you think? Because what I thought was the animator, sorry. I'm thinking he may have been a God of War 3 fan. Coincidentally, because the Cronus looked very similar to one of the Titans in God of War 3. Didn't look like Cronus from God of War 3, but looked like one of the Titans from God of War 3. I'm amazed that film did not get pulled up by Santa Monica for some serious copyright infringement. I mean, fuck, dude, seriously, fuck. I mean, you might as well have just painted, we stole this idea from God of War. Seriously, it's unbelievable. But I did that rant already, I've been there, done that. Had a t-shirt but lost it somewhere. So yeah, that was just a little bit there. But like I said, back on Immortals, would seriously recommend it. Check it out. If you're not into deep, full-on theological as well as, great visual style sort of film, films that aren't necessarily, the action scenes are there, action scenes in this film, but they're not like one here, one there, one here. It's not like Wrath of the Titans or Clash of the Titans where it's walking to a fight, walking to a fight, walking to a fight, walking back to a fight, walking back to a fight. This film is, we're going to get this guy. Shit happens here, shit happens there, shit happens over here. Then we have a fight, not very long, just a little one. Then there's more, in-depth character development, going up to the gods, coming back down, me, me sat here going, this film was really cool. That's what this film is. So yeah, brace yourselves for that. If you think if you think this film is going to be, I know I described it as the Matrix, an ancient version of the Matrix film, the first one that is. Yeah, take that in mind. Like I was in the Matrix, there were not loads of fight scenes in it. There were those. Then the ones that were there were cool, but they weren't like every other minute. This film, like I say, satisfies you both on a visceral level and on an intellectual level. So check it out, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please, view and leave comments and opinions. Email me if you want. Leave comments in the leave me inbox. Leave comments in my inbox. Like I say, I will always try and reply to them directly or indirectly or in these videos. I'd love to get loads of questions, loads of questions, so I can answer them in a video. And I would very much like for suggestions on anything you guys would like to see me review or talk about. So, with no more further ado, thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you again very soon. There's a chip and there's some cheese as well. And I may go and eat those two things I just talked about. See you guys later. Hope you had a productive day. And may your day tomorrow be just as good as today. Unless it was bad. And I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, you can't see my sneeze face. See you later, guys. Bye.